Hello and welcome to another episode of Chaos in London. This is Mage Edition. Tonight we find ourselves with our favorite Fae Blooded Plots, Kalis, who's been doing some ritual with his cult to try and find a familiar of sorts. As you described, Amy was looking. Um, you've gathered your followers up, you've done the ritual, you got a pretty good amount of successes on it. So I'm going to go ahead and send you the picture. Um, just sent to you over Messenger. Hopefully it'll stop freaking out.
I did receive it.
Okay, cool.
It is a rather interesting looking thing.
Yeah. So that shows up within the circle. It kind of trots around within the circle a little bit before turning its attention to you and says, "Are you the one who called me?"
Yeah, we'll look him right in the eye and he'll say, I am.
He'll it'll kind of it'll repeat the name you gave out, Maurice Lucian Blackthorn, kind of like it's getting a feel for the words. Um, so you require a familiar, someone to provide information and assistance.
Yes, not a rather than a spirit that simply comes now and again. I'm seeking a partner, a companion, an ally.
I've been looking for much the same, so I believe we can be of assistance with each other.
And which would you ask for? Your side of things, if we are to do this arrangement.
It'll it'll think for a minute. I am assuming you're familiar with the energy that makes up the really everything. I believe you may just call it quintessence.
Well, that is one factor. Another is what other needs or wants or desires might you have that we will have to tend to a certain preferred environment as a place of residence, a rival that you need dealt with before we can have this take effect.
I know of no rivals, but if you have access to a grove or wooded area, that would be most beneficial.
He kind of gestures outside the cave. He says, I do have some private forest lands around the establishment here.
He'll look down at the circle again and say, "Do I have your permission to scope out these areas?"
And he will nod and say, yes, you are welcome to review the premises and see if they meet your needs.
And it will nod and walk out of the circle, and then kind of look back at you, and then start walking uh, towards the areas you mentioned or you pointed out.
Okay.
He'll just kind of wander for a little bit and come back and say, "This should do quite nicely." As for you, Blackthorn, why is it that you've called for a familiar?
The spirit realm is one I interact with regularly. One that, while I consider myself relatively educated, I must accept the fact that there are others who will know more. Further, there are things I will encounter that I am not equipped or capable to handle, but that with the aid of a familiar I could.
That's understandable. So, you allow me residence in your groves and a little bit of quintessence a week, and I offer you knowledge and assistance should the need arise.
That would be my logical conclusion to this, yes.
It'll nod and it'll uh, kneel kind of in front of you. Say, then I agree with the terms. And
And he'll look the spirit right in the eye and say, then I agree as well. And I believe that means we have a pact.
indeed. It'll kind of, it doesn't really have hands, but it'll lower its head uh, so that you can kind of reach its antlers um, and kind of like shake them as if he's gesturing you to like shake on it.
Okay. He will take hold of one of the antlers.
And he'll gently shake his head up and down.
Once he kind of shakes the antler, he will start with 3 quintessence that he offers to his spirit.
Okay. He'll nod and say, "This will do quite well. Thank you." Um, we'll ask, "Is there anything you require of me right now?"
He says, not at this moment, no.
Then I will go rest in the grove and get myself situated.
Well, it's as you wish. Let me know if there's anything specific you need from me to assist with the matter.
It'll then trot out of the cave. And your it's getting late, so the members of your order are starting to kind of file out and go back to their homes. I mean, they look to make sure you're like you don't need them anymore beforehand.
Right.
Assuming that you don't, they'll all start heading out. And then I will need a perception awareness.
Ooh. It is. Standard difficulty.
It'll be standard diff.
I had 3 successes.
Okay. Um, so you feel something crossing over from one side of the gauntlet to this one. Um, and if you look closely, there will be a fairly large squirrel, like larger than squirrels should be, holding a bit of wood in its mouth. It will kind of bound up to you and say, "Hey, you okay, Liz?"
He's not quite sure how to respond to this squirrel, so he is just going to kind of just watch him. He doesn't make any threatening moves or anything, but then he will ask if he can help him.
I'll sent here to give this to someone named Akalis. Name's Ratatosk.
I'm indeed a Kalis.
Nidhogg sent it. Said he was going with whatever it is. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I appreciate the delivery.
And then it'll drop the wood down at your feet, and then kind of sit there and look up at you expectingly.
He'll pick up the package and then he looks at him and he says, "What is the customary payment for such a delivery?"
I mean, I'll take some acorns if you got them. I'm kind of hungry.
He'll take out just a handful after handful of acorns and says, "As a matter of fact, I have quite a few. These are superb quality, good lineage, good soil." He says, and basically he's going to try to give him more than he can carry. He wants him to drop some.
The squirrel will greedily grab as many as he can. He'll pop a few into his mouth, and with his mouth full, he'll be like, "Roar!" And then he'll start chittering and running off, and he'll disappear again. You don't feel the same disturbance as before, so it's probably safe to assume he's left through a regular way, just like out through the cave. But
Gotcha.
Giant monster still running around the city now.
It's not bigger than a squirrel should be. Um, yeah. So you've got the package.
All right. I'm gonna make sure he's fully gone as well. As a side note, the acorns he gave were the ones he had promised a great oak spirit to help spread and plant.
Gotcha.
So, figuring that wherever this squirrel is going, giving him more than he can handle means some are getting dropped and therefore planted in places they're likely not going to get otherwise.
Killing two birds with one stone.
But he will unwrap the package then.
Okay. It's the thing's held in just kind of a plain cardboard, not really cardboard, but just kind of a plain box. But inside you'll find the bit of wood that you offered to the Nidhogg. But it seems to have been it seems to have been fashioned into kind of a wooden.
No, we don't.
It's been fashioned into kind of a wooden dirk with a slight curve at the end, and almost kind of a serrated edge on one side from what look like large teeth.
Okay.
And yeah, um, you would like you can do some sights to see if there's any effects on it, or
Sure, I'll start with my spirit sight,
sounds good.
which apparently. Oh wait, you know what? I forgot to. I get a lower difficulty. No, I did take that into account. Shit. Alright, well, I broke even, so I did not activate my spirit sight,
Okay.
which is probably a little odd given I'm in my own sanctum. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But he will probably continue to inspect it first and foremost.
As you inspect it, there do seem to be some runes that have been carved into the handle of it.
Okay. Runes, you say?
Yeah.
Are they? So I'm going to assume there's some sort of mystical in trying to identify them. I'm imagining that's like intelligence occult.
Yeah, intelligence occult or esoterica.
They are the same.
Go for it. It's same diff regardless, so.
Standard?
Yep.
I have 5 successes. That's 7 if the analytical intelligence spec applies.
Yeah, I'd say it does. Yeah, makes sense. So from what you can tell, the runes are just kind of a formalization of your agreement with them, namely that you'll use that to, or you'll get the traitor's head back to the Nidhogg so that he can be punished properly for his crimes.
Right.
And that, um, as you read the runes more, they go on to say that the dirk will begin to make it obvious when you are close to the traitor.
Okay.
They can't directly find him, but if you happen to be in the same area as him, you'll be able to figure out that he's there.
All right. Well, he is going to. Has enough time passed that he can try that spirit sight again?
Yeah, it took you a little bit to read the runes.
3 successes that time.
Hey. So yeah, there's definitely some spirit magic going on with it. It seems to be tied towards the traitor, along with it's also tied to you in a way. Basically, you get basically you get the feeling that if you were to strike the traitor down with that dirk, regardless of what he has going on, whatever effects and whatnot, uh, it would go badly for him.
Okay.
What was the one guy with the mistletoe?
So yeah.
Alrighty. Oh, I think that takes care of that. So we got the familiar done. We got the totem or the gift done.
Mhm.
And my totem said he would get back to me when he was ready.
Yes.
So much spirit stuff.
The spirit mage.
Well, I think unless is no, he's gonna do it. I am going to have him call his totem. Not as an actual summoning, just kind of putting that notice out in the spirit realm
Okay.
that he's looking for him.
Go for it.
It's like leaving a voicemail.
Kind of.
I don't know anybody who uses voicemail.
Oh, you got 1 success.
Okay. Um, he won't arrive, but you will get a call back, basically saying, "Patience, Achilles."
Alright, well, if that's relatively well done. I might as well swing out to the touch base with this. I assume. Did Achilles receive contact information on where to go to locate other changelings?
You got a phone number.
Okay.
I contacting her. What was her name?
I think so.
She introduced herself as Matt.
Okay, well, he'll call and introduce himself.
She'll be like, yeah, I remember you. What you need?
Oh, well, it seems to me I'm doing a disservice if I don't introduce myself around accordingly. And I've encountered you briefly, but that's about it.
So you're wanting to introduce yourself to the court?
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be what I'm doing.
She'll say, give me a minute. Let me see who's around. She'll. You can hear like typing in the background. Then just a few minutes later, it doesn't look like many people are around, but I can introduce you to a few people. John, you there?
Yep.
Yeah, she said she'll be able to introduce you to a few people.
Perfect. He will ask where she would like to meet.
Law location in the northern boroughs.
All right, well, he will head that direction then.
And she'll be the first one you'll see. And she'll ask, have you ever been in the dreaming before?
And his response is, well, if I have been, I was not fully aware of it.
Okay. So basically what she'll do is she'll grab you by the hand and pull you through, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you're in the dreaming for the first time. Is around New Year's. So you can actually hear the hopes and dreams of what people would like to achieve this year in the air. And it's just like little floating lights, and the closer you get to them, the more clearly you can hear them. They're like whispers. There's like giant crystal snowflakes floating in the air because it's all snowy and stuff in London, I'm assuming. And it's very beautiful this time of year.
He's kind of just looking around in sort of a shock and awe. You know, he's been to the spirit realm, but this is something altogether different.
She'll say, you want to be careful not to step off this path, and she'll point to the path, unless you're an expert in dreaming. Because you can fall into the in-between, I think it's what it's called. Where reality and time cease to exist. So for an eternity, you're just stuck in nothing, not dying, ever. So yeah, stay on the path.
And he will stay and follow closely.
Swing by Nathan's place. Do you want to describe Nathan's freehold for?
Yeah. So from the outside, you see a fairly large castle-looking building. With a wall surrounding it, and towards the top of it, a coin that's been pressed into the concrete. Once you get inside, there's just kind of like a little waiting area, front parlor type thing, and then a large door leading into the throne room, where Nathan's sitting on his throne, uh, with a suit of power armor standing upright on its own to his side.
Alright. And Achilles will enter and formally introduce himself.
I mean, McKenna will say, McKenna, that's her full first name, not just her. She'll look at you and say, well, majority of the barons will expect you to formally introduce yourself. Nathan, it's more casual here.
You're casual.
He just kind of looks at you with a blank, unmoving face.
Anyway, nice to meet you. I'm Baron Nathan. Most people call me Nathan.
Yeah, nods his head and he says, I am known as the Blackthorn. Pleasure to meet you.
So, what brings you to my freehold? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, there's a number of matters, but the first one I'm going to have to think is going to be the fact that, well, I've been given to understand that I share blood with the folks here, and that I should therefore make sure I know the appropriate protocols, get my name out there, as it were.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Nathan will get out of his chair and just kind of walk around to Kalis. He's looking him up and down.
If I had to guess, she can.
Makes sense. Have you met any direct relatives who were of the Fae, or is this just kind of a long distance thing in the family?
None that I'm aware of, but our family has a history of secrets and the supernatural.
Makes sense. Well, so long as you don't harm any of my people and don't tamper with the freehold, you are more than welcome in my halls.
It seems entirely reasonable, which is a refreshing change for court life.
You should meet my captain. I think he is also the sheep. Well, he's also of the sheep, but you'd probably know better. Hey, Cap.
And you'll see him poke his head out from one of the random halls. So,
Come meet Blackthorn. He's Kenning.
so he'll come out and see. You're pretty. You know you're pretty. This guy, he outshines you by like 10 times. Like, he is drop dead gorgeous in the dream, and your parents 7. And he'll know. Yeah. You look, Ken. And he'll hold out his hand to shake yours.
And he'll give him a polite handshake.
But yeah, as I kind of probably explained, I'm a lot more relaxed about the whole courtly life than most barons. I don't really see the need for all the pomp and circumstance in most situations.
He says, "Oh, that's fair. There's a time and a place for following the protocols."
See, Nathan tried to follow along, and then some plans got hijacked by other people, and that's how he became Baron.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, sir, if I'm to be a part of your court, is there anything I can do to assist?
I'm sure there's plenty, but I don't know what you can do, if that makes sense.
Well, I have some experience in the art of illusions and mind magic. I have the fundamental knowledge of life magic, enough to aid my own form more than anything else. And I'm skilled and adept at working with spirits.
Your captain of the guard looks thoroughly confused, but McKenna, she looks like she kinda understands, but not really. But understands more than your captain.
This may be a personal question, and feel free to completely ignore it if it is. But are you more than just Kanang? Like, is there another side of you? Most Kanang don't have all of the abilities.
Yes, I'm also a member of the Order of Hermes.
You want to roll intelligence?
Yeah. Nathan has heard the term before, but he can't remember where. Well, this is a good review book.
Okay. You'll be able to remember. Hey, is this kind of mage thing?
Oh, you're one of those guys. I gotcha. Okay.
And it's just like, what do we call them? Particles?
That's just for like anything supernatural.
Yeah. Never met a Fae Blood prodigal before. She'll kind of pat your shoulder. Once once the word prodigal comes out though, the captain looks like he's just like, oh, okay.
I've met other builders of magic, such as yourself, and some have been among the best people I've ever met, and others have been, well, I swore to kill one at one point, and that's not an oath I take lightly. But you seem like a far more polite and nice person than that guy, so sure we won't have a problem like that.
Well, I'd like to think I am.
As long as you don't go around actively fucking with people's heads and driving them insane, I think we'll get along just fine.
I don't really see what the benefit of doing something like that would be. I mean, if they're a threat, I can understand that, but
No, this was somebody that he acknowledged as an ally. Actually, two people he acknowledged as allies. He did it for no fucking reason.
I see. That's very concerning.
I think he died in the transition.
Fucking hope so. Fuck that guy. He's an asshole.
So, there's this little kid that comes running through, and he looks at Achilles, and then tries to punch him in the nuts, but the captain of the guard catches his arm before he does so.
Okay.
Bruh. He'll say, looking at the kid.
You have to forgive him. He's been through a lot.
Oh no, this is just a recent obsession with his. All of the guards are wearing cups now. But the kid runs off.
All right. Well, he'll kind of watch, but then he, if the kid's just running off, he just kind of doesn't say anything.
The kid's a dickhead. Gotta watch out for him. He'll eat your stuff.
Eat my stuff.
Yeah. You know. Food. Not food. Weapons.
I fear that may be a dietary concern with the young man.
You would think so. I think he doesn't seem to like have any bad effects from it or anything.
Oh, I suppose. Not my place then to manage him.
Captain will say, we've been working on it. It's not been going well.
I imagine not. The only other thing I wanted to bring to the attention of the court while I'm here is that it was brought to my attention that recently the Norse high god, commonly called the Allfather, known as Odin, was slain.
That's concerning.
I was able to
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was able to reclaim a portion of his power to a totem spirit, but
I'll be honest, I didn't know Odin actually existed.
I mean,
It makes sense, but stories and all, but
he
still,
did just say winter.
yeah. Still, for something to say, like, to be able to kill a spirit or an aspect of the dreaming of what was probably a pretty good amount of power, that's definitely worrying.
Okay, we don't know if he's killed the aspect of dreaming.
That's true.
But you see McKenna just starting her too.
That being said, I also don't want to go knocking on Odin's doorstep in the dreaming.
Oh man, this is gonna be a great story. And she just like, are you ready? Looking at Achilles.
well, I already summoned Nidhogg and struck a deal with him. What's another trip?
To look at Nathan. It'll be fun.
He just sighs and starts getting into his power armor.
Captain's gonna call somebody to keep an eye on the kid. Because where Nathan goes, he goes. Because he's torn right hand or something like that. So, when we get into the deep dreaming, things are going to get weird. Weirder than they are now, I should say. Says McKenna to Achilles.
And he just laughs and he says, I don't know, I would expect anything less at this point.
Do you know how to wield a sword?
So Achilles will follow, but he's gonna kind of just stay like close second. This is territory he's not familiar with.
McKenna's gonna ask, do you know how to use a sword?
I know the fundamentals. I generally prefer to stick to my dueling cane, but
I'm sure it'll be fine.
We should give him some Fae now.
Yeah, it's probably maybe. Nathan will walk in before they set out. Nathan will walk into a back room and pull out or come back with a set of shimmering silvery nail, and he will hold it out and say, "If you're gonna come with us, you should probably wear this. Some extra protection."
he says, if you insist, I bring the protection of the great oak with me, but it doesn't hurt otherwise.
I would like to let you know this is the dreaming. Real world logic doesn't apply here. Or as we call it, gray world logic. Which in that case is called banality, but details.
I see. Well, there's usually always a logic somewhere that will can be applied. It's just a matter of which one.
You would think that.
No, he's right. It's just the rest of you guys haven't figured it out yet. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
You and your stupid knocker secrets, and she'll start mumbling under her breath.
Nathan says something about knocker superiority.
But yeah. So you guys set out towards the deep room. Captain will take point, leading you guys into the deep journey. And
Okay.
you eventually found the silver path.
Okay.
So the silver path is a little bit different from trots. Trots are pathways in the dreaming that are permanent and set. The silver path was like the original path for the Tuatha that prevented evil from walking upon it. And the
Okay.
captain, my best guess is to go along the silver path until we hit Asgard.
It makes sense.
And like he's standing like right in front of the barrier of the deep dreaming. Alright. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm as ready as I ever will be.
So the she steps through, and you've read the description of what she looked like in the deep dreaming, right?
Yeah.
He looks like that. Nathan, do you want to describe what he looks like in the deep dreaming?
Yeah. Nathan seems to meld into his power armor, and his power armor also takes a much more clockwork-like appearance. You
Okay.
can see Kieran kind of going back and forth and ticking and talking as he moves each limb. That's pretty much it.
I haven't came up with one for nature. Is there a nature one?
Not it's funny. I probably have this one in there.
Okay, so let's see. So you know those adventure books that just really make you feel excited and all that stuff? She steps through, McKenna does, and that hope and adventure and excitement that you feel from those books, that is what she embodies in the deep dreaming. So now it's your turn to step through.
And he will step through, trying to keep his composure.
You get a little shiny. You don't completely transform like the captain did. But yeah. So, McKenna will say to you, you want to stay in between the three of us. You're kind of a big sore thumb in the deep dreaming.
Alright, well, being this is completely foreign to him, his big concern at this point is stay close to the people he came with.
That's fair. So, they'll come across like huge mythological legends and all that stuff that's been represented in pop culture. Like you pass the TARDIS like 10 times, and you're not sure if it's the same TARDIS or if it's like 10 different TARDISes.
Okay.
See, and you actually smell the smell of alcohol floating through the air. Captain will look around and sniff a bit. What do you think? To Nathan.
Sorry, miss. Right.
You can smell alcohol throughout the air.
Might be on the right track.
Possibly. And like Achilles will notice like creatures trying to creep up on the little group, but McKenna will take out a slingshot and hit them, and they'll like skitter off.
All right. Well, no one's swatting him at this point. He's just going to stay the course.
So eventually you do get to Asgard. You're not sure how long it takes. Like you have lost meaning of time during this trip.
Okay.
And you do reach Asgard. There is a path made of the truest color of rainbows to a giant floating land.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit more of a step in the right direction.
I would say so. Captain will not step off the silver path yet. He'll kind of poke at the road with his sword. His sword, sheathed sword, with a piece still on it. And he'll say it's pretty solid, so I think it's safe to walk on.
Nathan's going to continue following the issue. Since they always can find where they're
Yeah. So, yeah, the issue takes point. And suddenly sirens. So she'll lead you guys through Asgard, where there's a giant fucking party going on. It's just booze, ambrosia everywhere, and mead.
All right.
You know how a normal person is like 6 foot tall?
Yep.
These guys are like 10 feet tall.
Actually, I think the average height is a little lower than that.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
yeah. These guys in the dreaming are like 10 feet tall.
Okay.
So, issue takes point. She'll go up to the main hall. And the door's kind of cracked open, so she peeks in, trying to not like fuck anything up.
Alright.
To walk in as quietly as he can in his power armor that's ticking and talking. And just no dots and still. So not at all quietly. That's the image I'm attempting to convey here.
So you're immediately noticed, and you hear a loud thump, and the like room goes silent as attention goes to you. Robot warrior, step forward.
Nathan will grumble under his breath as he steps forward.
What brings you here?
We had heard rumors of the demise of an aspect of the Allfather and wished to make sure that this aspect was that the rumors were just that, rumors.
So the person you were talking to was just a regular guard, but he gets look on his face. Maybe I should go check it over.
Has it been a minute?
Always. There's no concept of time right now.
Has it been a little while?
So there's a horn beside the throne. So he'll take a big old breath and just blow on it, and it's incredibly loud and obnoxious, as you would expect, calling the Allfather for the dreaming to his realm. And so will actually show up. Odin will. He looks a little distressed, but yeah, he'll show up.
Nathan will kneel down as best he can.
That's a good idea. So will the issue and captain. And everybody in the kingdom once Odin shows up.
I will wait to be addressed.
So there's a whispered conversation between the two. And Odin looks at you, says, "Robot warrior."
My name's Baron Nathan Adams. I'm not a robot. Or a warrior, really. Kind of coward, honestly. But that's not the point. We had heard rumors of your demise. But not your demise, like a different part of you or something. Metaphysics are weird. So I want to make sure they hadn't gotten to this you as well, as opposed to the other you.
Yes, I felt the great disturbance.
Okay. I'm glad you understood what I said. So I'm not sure I did.
Odin will kind of look curiously at Achilles, because he looks different than the other three Fae.
Alright. And he'll kind of look back and still bowed, and he'll say, "It is good to see that at least a portion of the glory still remains."
He'll nod. with the severance of my other part. I feel as I have become weakened.
I don't know how that works. I will be completely honest with you. I don't know if you can get that power back or what. I really don't. I apologize. Okay. Blackthorn, would you happen to know?
Oh, out of character, are you carrying that piece of wood that you got?
Yes, she does have his dagger.
Yo, the Odin will say, small one, let me see your dirk of the tree of life.
And he'll take it out and show it to him.
He'll actually get like 2 inches away from you, inspecting it. Now, like, this guy is taller than the other people. He's like 15 feet tall. This guy's massive. So he'll take a look at it. Nod. I understand now. So he'll stand up.
Nathan continues to kneel. Sure, he's a baron, but he's in someone else's hall. He's not been given permission to stand.
Neither has the captain nor the issue. I'll look at you four and say, come with me. There's things to discuss.
Nathan will get up and follow.
So you guys go into what looks like a war room. He'll have meat brought to you. You might want to roll willpower to not get addicted.
Oh, shit.
So, John, go ahead and roll willpower to not get addicted to the meat of the gods. We'll call it standard.
A1 success.
John, did you hear me?
I did. I have to look what my willpower is. I had 5 successes.
Damn. Where are you rolling?
I think he's using their own.
Oh, crap. That's right. You guys use Discord for live scenes.
It's no big deal. As long as it's somewhere and we can go back and look at it, like, and I trust you to not like cheat or anything, so.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah, nobody gets addicted to the meat of the gods, yay!
Hooray.
But that shit, oh my goodness.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah. Huh?
I had it before the tech over.
So, he'll look at you guys. with somebody as important as I am. We are all connected.
Makes sense.
And I felt that aspect slain. I feel like Ragnarok might come to that plane now.
Is far less good, I think.
So, what caused this aspect of me to die?
Well, someone appears to have killed it. That being said, I am in pursuit of who with the intent to get it addressed.
So, when you say somebody has appeared to have killed it, he looked at you like, no shit, dumbass. I just said that.
My concern is what is capable of doing that. Could a mortal do that? Is it possible?
No human can kill a god. But then again, who here is human?
Nathan points that around on behind her dinner.
He'll laugh, like a big hearty laugh. This one has jokes!
Yeah, jokes. Definitely not drunk coffee.
Oh yeah, by the way, you're plastered right now. There is no stamina roll to not get drunk off of this mead.
I was gonna say meat's not that bad, but that's very easy.
So, how did you get this piece of tree?
This was recovered from the place where the body was found, or believed to be where the body was. When I arrived there was a ring with runes marked out.
Hmm. And what was it of this traitor that I read from the runes on your dirk?
Well, what we had discovered was that once we realized what this was, we summoned Nidhogg and asked his assistance in crafting a tool to deal with whoever it was who would strike down a god. As far as who that traitor might be, that's still remains to be seen.
Hmm. I need more information on this. The issue who is absolutely just sloshed is just like, she kind of just laid down on the table. Like she climbed out of her chair and laid down across the table in her drunken stupor. And Captain is giggling. He's a giggler when he's drunk. And he'll pick up those two. Say, Nathan, can you walk?
Nathan will get up, and probably it's more so his power suit is allowing him to walk than his actual ability to do so, but he'll take a few steps.
And he'll look to Akalis. Can you walk?
Walk, yes. Much more than walk, probably not. I will not be dancing a waltz anytime soon.
Yeah, you're gonna be drunk for like 3 days.
Jesus.
It's the meat of the gods. It's not meant for human consumption.
Hmm?
But you ain't a god.
Not yet, I'm not.
So yeah.
Tentacles.
So what Odin does, he carries these two incredibly drunk people back to Nathan's freehold. So like you have a 15-foot giant wandering around your freehold and people are kind of intimidated and don't say anything about it.
Nathan will look up at him and say, thank you, All-Father. You have my hospitality in my hall, as you've shown me in yours.
I'll say thank you. He'll look to Akalis. This location you speak of.
Where the ruins were found?
Yes.
Yes, it's fairly well right in town, which is somewhat concerning to me that someone would be so blatant and bold.
Hmm. So he's going to look at Nathan. We must go see these rooms.
I am very drunk.
He'll squint at you.
Oh, again, toxicity thing. Maybe not for you, but I could do my people no good behind bars because I was wasted in public.
We shall get you coffee on the way then.
Oh god.
But he'll get down on your level and say, I'll be depending on you for when we get to this location to bring the weird forth so I can observe these rooms myself.
So Nathan is a temporary canonical companion in the form of Voodoo? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
For like
The
the
scene.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
And so Are you going to pull Canvas back into the real world?
Yeah, Nathan will help them get back over.
You do not see Odin, well, you do see him, since you can see into the dreaming. But you gotta focus on the dreaming first. But he's still in the dreaming. But you're in the grave world now, yay! John, you there?
Yep.
Okay, so Nathan will turn to Kalis and say, I guess we're gonna go to that circle.
We'll lead the way. And when you arrive, he will say, I generally would use the nearby building there as a convenient gate so that others do not notice you coming and going.
Don't worry, even if people notice, they won't remember the way I'm doing it. You should be able to since you have the blood, but most people won't.
It's possible there's other methods. The one I've learned and that I use, however, tends to attack the wrong kind of notice if I'm not careful.
Makes sense.
One more power, one point difficulty, the banality of the area. Fun. This area, I'll say 5.
Okay, fuck the weird.
Oh yeah.
So Nathan invokes the weird. You see his power armor and everything in the Grey World, along with Odin, I suppose.
Yeah. So, he's looking at the runes. You said there were runes of mourning, right?
Oh no, there were, runes of mourning. Yeah, or if there were.
So, he's just looking perplexed.
Alright.
Odin does. And, does it have a signature?
Yeah.
No. Does it say he was a follower or something? Just says goodbye.
Yep.
So, he's gonna step towards the middle of the circle. And things feel weird. That's the best way to describe it.
All right. Well, weird is something that Keyless can handle, so he will simply observe at this point.
So,
So, like, it feels like there's a lot of energy flowing one way, then it stops.
That is troubling.
I was trying to see if there were any remnants that I could connect to.
anyway,
None. There used to be an echo here, but that is now gone too.
It seems we have simply accomplished developing more questions rather than answers, but I suppose that is part of finding answers, is it not?
yeah, gotta work your way there eventually.
Is there anything else we can assist with while we are here?
If I could reach into the other side, I could give you more answers, but without my other aspect being there. It is not possible at this very moment.
Well, then perhaps that is something that we can plan for in the future, should other information come up.
I don't know. Nathan, I'm going to frequent your freehold on occasion to see if there's more information gathered.
I'll make sure let the captain know.
He'll look to Kalis, brother of the Fae. If you get any information, please pass it along for me.
That seems a reasonable request.
And he steps back to the tree on his own. And you see a half spider, half horse looking thing come up. With 8 legs.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. And he'll mount the horse spider thing. And he'll leave. So,
All right. And I will probably take my leave of my friend Nathan here that I've met. I have a feeling we both could use to sleep some things off.
Yeah. Nathan will kind of give a polite nod to Blackthorn and says, "It's a pleasure meeting you. I am going to go back to my home and fall asleep."
All right, well, I suspect that Kalish will do the same thing. He's gotten a number of answers and just kind of waiting on any additional ones. So.
I think we can end the scene there, unless there's anything you want to do.
I don't think so. I think that should do it for me.
Okay. Thank you for playing. Thank you for watching.